Good afternoon. Am I audible to everyone? Good afternoon. Am I audible to everyone? Firstly, I thank the convener Nishanti for giving me this opportunity to take this webinar on data science. So firstly, I will just discuss with you about some of the libraries required for doing any kind of data science development. And then I will show you a practical implementation of one of the algorithms. Alright? Am I audible to everyone? Welcome to this webinar on data science. I thank the convener Nishanti for giving me this opportunity to take this webinar on data science. So basically, what do you mean by data science? Anybody can tell me? Good afternoon, everybody. Basically, what do you mean by data science? What do you mean by data science? Yes, Preeti, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. What do you mean by data science? Yes, good afternoon, Patel. Good afternoon, Santosh. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. What do you mean by data science? Anybody can tell me what is data science? What is data science? So data science is nothing but the scientific study of data. So it is an interdisciplinary field. It can be applied across a variety of fields and we can create many applications using data science. For example, you can take up any real world websites, online websites, for example, Amazon, Flipkart, or you can take up any websites. And we are going to come up with some important prediction result. So wherever we have data, you can consider e-commerce industry or you can consider any other industry, for example, banking industry. So wherever we have large volumes of data, we are going to collect the data, we are going to analyze the data, and we are going to come up with some important prediction, what is going to happen in the future. This is what is called as data science. So we require different types of libraries. We require Pandas library, NumPy, Matplotlib. So we require different libraries for doing any kind of data science development. So firstly I am going to discuss, and finally I will show you a simple example, house price prediction using random forest regression algorithm. So we have different types of algorithms, machine learning algorithms. So any of the algorithms, so in order to solve any type of problem, for example, how the house prices are predicted, so I will take up random forest regression. I will just explain this algorithm and I will show you a simple example of this, practical implementation of this. So firstly, I am going to discuss with you about Pandas library. So we have different types of data structures available in the Pandas library. So series data structure, data frame. So for doing any kind of predictive analytics, data frame is one popularly used data structure. So how my records, so they are organized in the form of rows and columns, tabular data structure. For doing any kind of machine learning development, for example, if I want to analyze student records or if I want to analyze patient records, so everything is stored in the form of rows and columns. So data frame is one popularly used data structure for doing any kind of predictive analytics. You can see here, so this is a student table. It contains the name of the student, to which department he belongs to, and which semester he is in, and the percentage of marks obtained by the students in different departments. can consider this data frame. So all these are the names of different people, and you can see, so everything for doing any kind of predictive analytics, the data is stored in the form of rows and columns. So it is called as a data frame, tabular data structure. So what are all the different types of inputs that can be given as inputs to my data frame? For example, a list can be given as an input to my data frame. A dictionary can be given as an input to my data frame. A series can be given as an input to my data frame. And another data frame. So all these are the different types of inputs that can be given as an input to my data frame. So a series is a homogeneous collection of data elements, whereas a data frame is a heterogeneous collection of data elements, collection of different type of elements. For example, if I want to store employee records or if I want to store student records, so a data frame is nothing but a heterogeneous collection of data elements. So for example, whenever I want to use any of these libraries, firstly I need to import the corresponding library. So I am just importing pandas as PD. I am using the alias name using dot operator. I have to call the corresponding data structure. So I am just calling the data frame. It is stored in the variable df. Clear with this? So whichever inbuilt data structures I want to call, using the alias name using dot operator, I have to call the corresponding data structure. So what are all the different types of inputs that can be given as an input? So a list can be given as an input to my data frame. An array, for example, two-dimensional data can be given as an input to my data frame. A dictionary key value pair can be given input to my data frame. So let me just show you a simple example how to use this data frame. So I am going to create a new data frame. Import pandas as PD, and then I am going to create a data frame. For example, PD dot, I have to call the corresponding data structure. Clear with this? So firstly I am just importing the corresponding library. I am importing pandas as PD, and then using the alias name using dot operator, I have to call the corresponding data structure. So if I want to create a data frame or if I want to create a CD output. Clear with this? So an empty data frame has been created. And what are all the other types of inputs that can be given as an input to my data frame? So I am just importing the corresponding library, and PD dot, I am just calling this data frame, and I am passing this list. This is given as an input to my data frame. Clear with this? So I am storing some list of values. You can see here. So list equal to, so within square brackets, I am storing some list of values. This is given as an input to my data frame. For example, if I want to print a list of student records or if I want to print a list of employee records, so all these are the different types of inputs that can be given as an input to my data frame. So firstly, I need to import the corresponding library, and then I am storing a list of values. For example, I have some list of planet names there by comma. And using this alias name, using dot operator, I have to call the corresponding data structure. So I am just calling this data frame and I am passing this list.